What prompted you to make this Instagram post in the first place?
I knew that I'd been working on a workshop called Love and Trauma, the Trans Experience, that was going to be in association with the Trans Visibility March on DC. And I was trying to get some attention. In the video, I thought of myself. At that age, I was someone who was also curious about what's going on with transgender people, women specifically. And so I thought that I would post a video and make a comment around why is it that it's okay for us to record bullying each other.
Can you tell me what stepping up exactly means, and what does that look like?
Well, for me, I mean, as a kid, my father always said, "There's a crack, fill it," right? And so I know that my presence in the culture has meant many things. I know that when I arrived on the scene as a cop, that influenced people.
You wrote a Facebook post in which she accused you of soliciting sex from her as a minor at ages 13 and 16 years old. So what do you say to that allegation?
I say that, when I heard that, and I didn't actually read it until last Thursday, what she actually said. I don't know the woman, number one.
So you're saying you never met her, you don't know her?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't know her. I have no idea who she is. But I'm familiar with that pain. I'm familiar with that trauma. I'm familiar with people who are crying out for help. I'm familiar with the lack of regard for this population, which is, again, my point. This is a bullet wound, right? And I follow the intention, I chase the purpose, right? And so to stand up in the face of someone saying that you're this, when I know I'm this, I also felt, wow, that's kind of how it feels like to be transgender.
Understand. So moving forward with this, to kind of fill out the rest of these questions before we move forward. Sexist allegation, too, if you search your name on social media, some sex workers have come forward saying that you've long solicited sex from trans women, and because of this, you've been criticizing for fetishizing trans women and not having intimate and loving relationships with them. So what would you say to that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
We
decided how we were going to approach this, bro.
We went through a number of questions.
We decided how we were going to approach this.
And we said recording, and the more you talk, the worse it looks for you. So what I'm asking is that we're having a conversation.
What did you say?
I said the more that we're talking, the more I'm just concerned. So I'm generally concerned. I said that the more that it looks bad for you. That's
really?
What I'm saying. Yes, sir.
This looks bad for me.
Yes, because I'm asking you a number of questions.
We're done, bro.
Okay.
We're done. It looks bad for me because I chose to kind of speak to you about what you do and what I've done. It looks bad for me. It's a setup. I don't like this.
Okay.
We said that we were going to focus on policy.
And we did, and we also
stand on allegations, homie. I don't appreciate this at all.
No, we had a conversation about a white race.
This shit at all, homie.
Questions did feel like this. Can you guys not? This is like.
That's fucked up, man.
True. We have like.
What the fuck is wrong with you, man? We fucking sat for 4 hours. All right, bro. Don't tell me shit. Don't tell me about this. This isn't professional. This is life.
His intention is not to antagonize you. We're trying to.
No, we discuss.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell so that we can get notified when I post another video. Now, I did a video regarding Malik Yoba and the whole pedophile accusation. And I stated in the video that there is a huge effort being made towards the African-American community now in Hollywood, exposing them because of the whole Bill Cosby situation, Michael Jackson situation, that I don't know who else is going to get called up on, but I was going to do more research, and I did. And I watched the full interview of Malik Yoba and the whole allegation that he is a pedophile and that he's been fucking transgender underage girls in the past, right? And I gotta be honest, in the interview, he acted, with him acting like R. Kelly, we all saw it. and the denial and everything like that. But I'm listening to how he actually did the interview, and child, Malik, I don't believe you. I really don't. And let me tell you why. They started the interview and they're asking this man about, you know, the allegations. Actually, first of all, he started the interview, he would just talk around in circles. He wouldn't stop. It was just like they're asking him a question and he's doing something like, you know, I thought about the wonders of the earth and I'm humble and I just feel like love is about everything and the rainbows and colors, and he's completely dancing around everything. He is not even answering the damn motherfucking question, bruh. You look like you did that shit. Hell, I'm looking at you like you did that shit. Why the hell would you answer a question like that? You put yourself through that interview. It was supposed to help you. Instead, all you did was try to put yourself on this pedestal, kind of like R. Kelly feeling like he's untouchable. Is you sitting there kind of feeling yourself. You are a narcissist, a textbook narcissist, for real. But he kind of compared himself, or not kind of, he actually compared himself during the interview to Mahatma Gandhi, Marcus Garvey, and Malcolm X. They asked him about the allegations. He basically stated that those men had to go through certain adversities when they try to shed light on certain social issues that were occurring. And since he just shed light about the whole transgender situation and how he also finds transgenders attractive, him coming out as a cisgender man saying that it puts him in the same category as those men who did all those great things, because he's now being nailed to the cross. Boy, bye. You are not Gandhi. You are not Marcus Garvey. You damn sure ain't Malcolm X. Stop. But he did all that. Now, he reminded me a little bit of that Penn State pedophile, Jerry Sandusky, the Penn State coach that had like a football overnight and during day like a football camp or something for little boys. And he had that camp for a number of years, but he had it for like 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds. And then it comes out years later when he's now old as hell that he was actually molesting those boys. But on the outside, it looked like, oh, he was doing great, he's doing wonderful things, and he's advocating for all these boys to be successful. But then when you come out and find out that he's been actually taking showers with these boys and touching them and doing all these nasty shit that all the coaches and some of the administration and everybody try to hide, then the FBI had to come in and do an investigation. By the time they realized that he's trying to paint himself as the pillar of society. No, bruh, that's not how it works. Like, seriously, just because you do something nice doesn't negate the fact that you're still fucking up. That's just a fact. Now, moving on, we had Malik Yoba claim that he's shedding light on the difficulties that members of the transgender communities experiences as an individual who has experienced the exact same hardship. And he's made this correlation because he felt like he himself had been bullied because he liked transgender people, and that he's been called gay, and that he's been they've been telling him that he's the next AIDS patient and stuff like that. Boy, you are not transgender. Okay, stop. Unless you want to come and tell me something in that interview, like something you just don't want, you know, you want to disclose something, I'm not going to put you in that same category. It's like a white person wearing like one of those black masks they create on like all those websites, go out for one day and come in and tells me, oh my gosh, I went out with this black mask for one day. Now I understand the hardships of slavery and how a black man is and how he goes through this world and how he's existed since the day he was born. Shut your ass up. You will not know unless you are actually in those shoes. You can say you're compassionate about their problems, but you can't go around and say that you know what transgender people feel like because somebody called you gay. I've been called a lesbian. That does not mean I know what lesbians go through their entire life. Somebody called me a lesbian. It took all of 5 seconds and I walked away. That doesn't mean that I know what they go through. I'm not a lesbian. I can just answer with thanks for, the title, but I'm straight. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to go now and claim that I understand the trials and tribulations that homosexuals and lesbians go through because somebody called me lesbian. That's stupid. No, you don't. Knock it off. But he said that. Now he's a martyr. And in addition to that, he understands what all these people go through because he has gone through hardships. Stop it. Now, we move on to what happened else in the interview. As this is going on, the interviewer is asking him questions, like, and forcing him, like, listen, bro, you need to answer the question. Like, answer it now. You're dancing around it and you're talking too much and this is long and I'm not getting any answer from you. It's kind of getting irritated. Excuse me. I was getting irritated. I was getting annoyed. I was falling asleep. Like, answer the question. And during that interview, the guy actually said to him, the more you talk, the worse you're making it for yourself because you're not really addressing the issue. You've been accused of pedophile. That is a serious crime. What you gonna say about it? And he gets up, he's angry, he storms out. You can hear him on the background. He's asking for the tapes. So it can't be played because the interview works against him. He says we sat for 4 hours. We discussed what the narrative was going to be. What? This is an interview. You cannot pick what narrative is gonna, like, no, it's an interview. I'm gonna ask you questions based on what the public wanna hear, wanna know. You answer the questions, you don't pick which questions I ask, bro. Shut your ass up for real. This is my life, okay? It's your life, yeah, but you chose to do the interview. Like, you can't just, no, stop, please. But I did find some more tea online in a Facebook post. And we had sex when I was just a teen at 13 and 16 years old over two decades ago. I mentioned that in my last video, but I had to do the timeline in my head. She said over 2 decades ago in the post. Malik Yoba is 51 years old. He had to have done this around his early 30s in his young life, and she said that he was doing it around the time when he just hit stardom. Okay, and she recognizes him and she remembered him because he's a celebrity, you just don't forget celebrities like that. And I believe her. And she said it happened during the apex of New York Undercover when he was on that show. She also went on to state that his revelation to the public that he's attracted to trans women, that is a double-edged sword because it's bound to open up a Pandora's box for him, not because the women are trans, but because many of the trans women he engaged in sexual exploration and exploitation with on 14th Street, Times Square, and elsewhere were minors, including myself. That is a specific location. She knows what she's talking about. And then at the end, Ebony added, and I don't give a fuck who doesn't believe me or feels I'm trying to ride a wave. I believe you, girl. I do. Now it says his ex-wife also hopped in on this trauma, saying that she has 2 children by him. Her name is Terry Vega, blasting him, saying that she has supported him in his trans relationship that he's currently in, but he should have had this conversation with their kids regarding his sexual predilections, which is true. She blasted his failure in parenting and refusing to meet up with her. She also alluded that there's a lot about their family dynamic that they did not disclose to support him. And yeah, I believe her too, although I don't know what the wife's MO is. I think at this point she's trying to get attention because he's not doing whatever she wants him to do as a parent. But Malik Yoba, I'm so sorry. You look guilty as hell. And although I feel like there's an attack on Hollywood right now, Dave Chappelle made a crack on it in his joke saying that, you know, what's going on right now and they might catch him doing something, but he don't know. We'll see. But that doesn't change the fact that you did something wrong. You know, R. Kelly did this whole speech, cried, bawled his eyes out, and did a whole drama thing, and we all know he did that shit. You know you did that shit. We know you did that shit. Jesus knows you did that shit. Your dreams know you did it. So Malik Yoba, I don't think you're helping yourself, and this interview kind of put you in a bad way, and because it's crazy, and you look extra guilty. Anyway, please like the video, comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye.